Welcome to another edition of Big Data Spain. This is the 2016. I am going to make a very short introduction because, of course, you are waiting for the speakers that come after me, which are the important guys. So, very fast. I just wanted to explain a little bit what this big data stuff is about, how it started some more than 10 years ago. So this is like a timeline for IT and informatics, and we can see there the Shannon's information theory that most of us study in the university. So we go there to the business intelligence in 1989, the World Wide Web in 1995. So it is only 21 years old. It is quite surprising, this. And then we go to 2004 with the white paper, very famous now white paper from Google about MapReduce. And then after this, we have to wait 2 years until we have the first big data product, open source product. And of course, it was Hadoop. And I think that with Hadoop, everything started. And from that, the rest is history. So we go there. The evolution of big data started with batch. Then in 2013, we went to batch plus interactive to make very fast questions and to get an answer in seconds. In fact, the definition of interactive is quite a funny story because Alan Gates in an article is one of the keynotes that we will have. He said something with the marketing stuff about 30 seconds, then interactive was defined like 30 seconds, but he will tell much better than me. So in 2013, it was batch plus interactive. Then 2014, we were using their Storm, real-time data streaming, and all this stuff. And 2016, you will see that most of the talks, we will talk about machine learning and data intelligence. I think that 2016 was the year for machine learning, data intelligence in all companies, all products, all big data vendors. And so, what is the future? Well, it is very difficult always to say which will be the future of big data for the next years, but for the next year, it's not that difficult. So next year, we think that we will go a lot deeper into machine learning and deep learning. There are a lot of companies right now using machine learning, but they will make a broader use of this stuff, and also the deep learning with image recognition, and all this is getting around. And you will see a lot of talks during these 2 days that will tell us how to use it and what is it about. And 2020, well, who knows? Really, who knows? Nobody knows, but of course, the ultimate goal of big data, and you could say that also IT is artificial intelligence. So in 2020, we will have artificial intelligence. Well, I hope so, because I am very positive, and I am sure it will be really a good advance for humankind. So, big data Spain in numbers. This is the evolution. In 2012, when we started, it was only 220. So I think we knew each one of the 220 that were coming to the first Big Data Spain event. And we have evolved. 2016 is extremely important for us because we have break the number, the 1,000 attendees to the event. So this year we are more than 1,200 people here, sharing passion and interest about big data. So we were really happy to break that 1,000 number of attendees. This is, last year it was 800, so it is an increment of 50%, so we are growing really fast. About the talks, we will have 58. We have 4 tracks, and the intention was to have 4 tracks to let every person to choose the matter or the talk that they are really interested in. Here again, we have increased from 45 to 58, so it is a big increment. And these are some of the edition highlights. With 58 talks, it is not that easy to choose what talk to go. So in the web page, you can choose the highlights that you like more, and it will filter the talks that will explain that specific topic. Some of the topics that we are going to see in the presentations are, of course, as I said, machine learning. We will talk a lot about Hadoop, the beginning. We will talk also about Apache Spark. But you will see something that is quite new. Tomorrow, Paco Nathan will explain about Mesos and Dockers. And this Docker Kubernetes stuff is really very interesting and is growing a lot. So I recommend you to go to some of the talks about this. And of course, cybersecurity. Security is another of the big issues last year, but especially this year. If you have a big data lake or a big data project with huge quantities of data, that is the dream of any hacker, because they will have all the data in one place. So security is key. We will also have several presentations about cybersecurity. I think the key presentation for this will be tomorrow. Chema Alonso, which is the CDO of Telefónica, but also the CSO of Telefónica, will talk about big data, security, and so on. These are some of the technologies around and companies. I will not go through them, but you can see most of the things that you are familiarized with. And we will have some talks about databases, MongoDB, Kafka, and all this stuff. These are the keynotes that we are going to have. And I want to use this slide to introduce Paco Nathan. Paco Nathan is the second or third time that comes to the Big Data Spain. It is a real honor to have him. He's one of the evangelists, machine learning, sort of the Da Vinci of our time. So he's really a cross person. But so he's going to talk about data science today, but tomorrow he's going to talk about Dockers, Mesos, and Jupyter, and how to use them to combine all these very interesting technological pieces. So I recommend you to go to, of course, his session now, but tomorrow's session. And I also want to highlight the keynote from Iñaki Bernal. Iñaki Bernal will be our second keynote today. He's the head of engineering of BBVA. And BBVA is, in my opinion, the tier 1 bank that is innovating more worldwide. So it is an honor to have Iñaki here to explain how they are advancing, how they are using big data, and how they are transforming a huge, huge bank in more than 12 countries. So I also recommend to go to that talk. And of course, Alan Gates. It is an honor to have Alan here for second time, I think. And he's the founder of Hortonworks. And they are the guys behind Hadoop right now, and Hive, and all the stuff. If you think about big data, you should think also about a shift in the market through open source. Big data and open source, they go hand by hand. And if there is a company that is open source, truly open source, because you have to be very careful about this. Truly open source, it is Hortonworks. So if you go for Hadoop and open source, of course, Hortonworks is the company to go, and it is an honor to have Alan here. So, what is Big Data Spain about? Big Data Spain is not only about the talks, it's not only about to learn a little bit about big data or a lot. It is to meet, it is to engage, it is to talk with other people, it's talk with other companies, how they are using big data. So lunch, the beers, any place here is an excuse to get information and to know what is big data about and how to use it and what are the use cases where you should start. So I recommend you to gather and to engage with other people through these 2 days. Well, of course, I have to talk about our sponsors. You have all this in the website, and you can see it. But about the gold sponsors, of course, I want to thank Accenture as a gold sponsor, BBVA and Telefónica, and all the silvers that you can see there, and the bronze. And a special thanks to Google Cloud Platforms. I want to finish this introduction that is being too long right now with this. What is Big Data Spain right now? Big Data Spain is the second biggest big data event in Europe. The first one is Strata in London, of course. It is an event with more than 2,000 people or attendees. Big Data Spain, as I explained, it is 1,200, and the third one is 600. So Big Data Spain right now is like twice the size and importance that the third one in Europe. So I want to thank and to end with this to all the team that makes possible Big Data Spain, to Ruben, to the communities that choose the talks that we will see during these 2 days. Because after 6 years, I think it is incredible to be right now the second biggest event for big data in Europe. So thanks a lot for coming. I want to introduce now to Paco. Paco, please. And well, I hope you enjoy and you get fun, because this without fun would not be that important. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you very much.